Red 5 standing by.
Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Red 5 Reviews. Today I'll be giving my book review for Star Wars Darth Maul-Shadow Hunter. This book was originally published in 2001 in hardcover and has been reprinted a few times since then. We've had the original paperback, we've had the 2012 edition that includes two short stories, Darth Maul Saboteur and Darth Maul Restraint, both written by New York Times bestselling author James Luceno. And of course, we've had the recent Essential Legends reprint that came with an unabridged audiobook that was narrated by the voice of Darth Maul himself, Sam Witwer. Now, Shadowhunter was written by Micheal Reaves, who we've learned recently unfortunately passed away, and I just wanted to extend my condolences to all of his friends and family. Now, there will be mild spoilers for this review. I'm not going to give away everything, but I did want to let you guys know in case you don't want any spoilers whatsoever. But with that said, guys, let's do this. Darth Maul Shadowhunter takes place just shortly before the events of The Phantom Menace. When one of the Neimoidian conspirators betrays Darth Sidious, the Dark Lord of the Sith sends his apprentice Darth Maul to locate the traitor on Coruscant and kill him and anyone else who may have knowledge of Darth Sidious' plans for the Republic. Darth Maul's mission leads him on a hunt for an information broker named Lorn Pavin and his droid companion I-5, and also leads him into a confrontation with a Jedi Padawan named Darsha Asant. This book was great and an exciting read, and I enjoyed it very much. I have very few complaints, except that I did feel there was some pacing issues in the first part of the book, but it eventually takes off. As for the story itself, I was really invested, and normally I tend to be a little hesitant about reading Star Wars books that take place right before one of the movies I've already seen because we of course know how some things will turn out. But that definitely wasn't the case with this book. I really enjoyed reading how even though Maul's existence is known to some characters, including a Jedi Padawan, it was intriguing to see how Maul would have to prevent others from finding out about him. I enjoyed the action in this book, and the violence gets pretty brutal at times, with one example being Maul decapitating the Neimoidian traitor. One of my favorite things about this novel was I thought Reaves did an excellent job at characterization. I thought for today it'd be fun to discuss two characters in particular, Darth Maul and Lorn Pavin. I thoroughly enjoyed Micheal Reaves' description of Maul. You read about how dangerous and horrifying Darth Maul is and how much he's basically a merciless Sith warrior. After the Neimoidian traitor Hath Monchar complies with Darth Maul, he feels a sense of hope that he'll let him go, but the book then goes on to say that once he looks into Maul's face, he realizes he's a dead man. I thought that was described beautifully, and what I also thought was unique was how unquestionably loyal Darth Maul is to the Sith and his master. You get the hint that Maul would follow Sidious's commands right down to the letter with no thought of defiance, and there was even a moment where Maul avoided lying to Sidious about one of his mistakes, because of his respect to his master. Shadowhunter also goes a little in depth into Maul's feelings for the Jedi, and how he loathes them for their hypocrisy, but is always willing to test his skills with them. And while Maul would kill without hesitation, there are times he would be willing to be merciful, in a way of speaking, by giving his foe a quick death if he found them to be a worthy challenge. Now, even though the book is about Darth Maul, one of my favorite characters was an information broker named Lorn Pavin. He also hates the Jedi, but he has a completely different reason. I won't get too much into his reasons, but I will say that he does have a history and connection to the Jedi, and if I'm being completely honest, I found myself very sympathetic towards Pavin and a little understanding towards his animosity with the Jedi. I thought it was really intriguing to get someone else's perspective on the Jedi who's not either a Jedi or a Sith, and also how the Jedi code, such as forbidden attachment for example, could impact someone who's not a Jedi but may have a connection to someone who is. Sure, we see that with Anakin and Padme, but it was interesting to see that they weren't the only ones affected by that code. I won't say much other than that, however I will say I enjoyed that by the end of the novel, Pavin will learn to have respect towards one Jedi, and even try to help the Jedi Order as a whole with knowledge of the Sith's existence. On that note, if there was one thing I had issue with was that before Pavin even meets Darth Maul, he very quickly deduces that a Sith is lurking about, and at first I was a little skeptical about how he can very quickly come to that conclusion. But again, he did have a history with the Jedi, and the Sith was once a vast empire, so I guess it's not too far-fetched. But I thought it would have been better if there was more of a mystery or a quest for answers behind it. I definitely consider this a must-read for all Star Wars fans. Again, the action is great and the story is very compelling, and I really enjoyed the characterization. I'm going to give Star Wars Darth Maul-Shadowhunter 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would definitely recommend picking up the original paperback version. It consists of 2 short stories, Darth Maul Saboteur and Restraint. Both are written by James Luceno. I recently finished Saboteur and currently reading Restraint. There is also the Essential Legends edition that comes with a fully unabridged audiobook narrated by the voice of Darth Maul himself, Sam Witwer. Thanks so much, guys, for checking out this review. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful if you're interested to pick this book up. If you did, then please consider hitting that like button and consider subscribing if you're new to my channel and enjoying my content. And if you read this book, please leave your thoughts down in the comments below and I'll check them out. Hope you all have a great day and be sure to stay tuned for my book haul and my vlog coming next week, and then I move on to my reviews for the Darth Bane trilogy. But until then, this is Red 5 standing by.